Hi, I'm Celina, and in today's episode I'm going to show you how to make 4 healthy purees for your baby when they first start solids. On my channel Healthy Bub Grub, I'm going to be showing you ways to prepare healthy, nutritious food for your baby from when they first start solids right through to family meals. Don't forget to hit the like button if you enjoy what you see today, and subscribe to my channel if you would like to see future videos of what you can make for your baby and also to help support my channel. If your baby has an allergy to any of the ingredients that I'm using today, or you think that they may have an allergy, please leave that ingredient out and substitute it with something else. I'm going to be showing you 2 fruit and 2 vegetable. It's super easy, anyone can do it. I'll also be giving you alternative options if your baby is further along and no longer on puree. Okay, let's get started. After washing your fruit, we'll halve the blueberries and trim the ends off the strawberries and roughly chop. Then peel the kiwi fruit and also roughly chop. Next, add the fruit to a small jug and use a stick blender to blend it up until it's nice and smooth. I'm adding half a banana now just to help thicken up the puree. So continue blending until it's nice and smooth. You're looking for a consistency that's similar to yogurt. Next, spoon it into the mould. I'm just putting a couple of teaspoons in each portion, just so that when it is defrosted, you've got a good portion size. Now I'm going to cover the mould with a reusable cling film so that it's airtight and ready for the freezer. After freezing overnight, it's out of the freezer moulds and into a freezer safe bag, which I've labelled with the date and what's going in it. So now you can just put it in a bowl and put it in the fridge to defrost, and just give it a stir to make sure that there's no lumps. I'm adding some natural yogurt to my puree just to bulk the meal up as my baby is older. So now I'm just stirring some puree through the yogurt, and I've got a meal there ready to go. So you can see how easy it is to make a fruit puree. Let's move on to the next. As always, make sure your ingredients are thoroughly washed, and we're going to start by cutting the skin off the pumpkin, and once the skin is cut off, we're going to take out the seeds. Next, we're going to peel the skin off the sweet potato, and once you've peeled the potato, we're then just going to trim the ends off. Cut it into more manageable pieces, and once you've done that, you can start chopping each piece up just into small chunks. So now we're just going to put some water in a saucepan, just enough to have boiling underneath the steamer. And just pop that on the stove over high heat. Once the water has boiled, add your sweet potato and pumpkin to the steamer. Pop the lid on and then just let it simmer away for about 10 minutes or until nice and soft. You can just put a skewer in to test. Okay, so that's nice and cooked. So I'm going to put it into a small jug and use a stick blender to blend it until it's nice and smooth. You can just use any kind of blender. I'm adding a little bit of milk as it's a bit thick. You can use breast milk, or if you're happy to, you can use cow's milk like I have. And when it's at a nice smooth consistency, you can then put it into freezer molds or feed it straight to your baby. So I'm keeping some of my vegetables in chunks as I'm doing baby-led weaning along with purees. Once it's been frozen, pop it out of the mould and then into a freezer bag labelled and dated, and you've got great portion sizes ready to go out of the freezer when you need them. Okay, so for this puree we're going to use some red apples and ripe pears. So once washed, we're going to start by peeling the apples and pears, and once peeled we're going to halve and then core the fruit, and then once that's done we're going to just chop each piece into small chunks. Once your fruit is chopped, add it to a medium-sized saucepan, and then we're going to just fill it with enough water to just cover. So now we're going to put it on to the stove on high heat and put the lid on and bring it to the boil. Once it's boiling, turn the heat to low and let it simmer for 10 to 15 minutes or until the fruit is nice and soft. If you find that you still have too much liquid, just take the lid off and let it simmer for a few more minutes to evaporate. Once it's nice and soft and cooked, you can again put it into a jug to puree. Again, I'm using the stick blender, but you can use whatever blender you have. So you want that blended to a nice smooth consistency, similar to custard. Then you can prepare it into your molds to go straight into the freezer. Now you can leave some in the fridge to use straight away. I'm also going to leave some of this one in chunks, as like I've said previously, I am doing the baby-led weaning with the purees as well. Okay, so once frozen, you can pop them out of the molds and into your labelled freezer bags. If you are wanting to use any of the portions, just pop them in a covered bowl in the fridge to defrost. So here you can see how easy it is to make a nice, nutritious apple and pear puree for your baby. For the super greens puree, you'll need baby spinach, broccoli and peas. As always, make sure that your ingredients are well washed. Then we're going to start by chopping up the broccoli into small florets. And then add the broccoli to the steamer over boiling water. Cover with a lid and then let cook for about 5 minutes before adding your peas and spinach to cook for a further 3 minutes. You just want to make sure that your vegetables are nice and soft. Then blend it up to a nice smooth consistency. Again, I've added a little bit of milk. You can use breast milk or cow's milk if you're okay with that. Otherwise, you could use some of the cooking water just to get that nice smooth consistency. Now you can put it into your freezer molds ready for freezing. And once frozen, pop out of the molds and into your freezer safe bags that are labelled and dated. So when you are wanting to use it, just put a piece of your frozen puree into a bowl and leave in the fridge to defrost. I then warm mine in the microwave for my baby, but if you don't want to use the microwave, you could use the stove.
I hope you enjoyed today's video and found it useful. Please let me know in the comments. Also, let me know if there's any particular thing that you would like to see in future episodes so that I can get an idea of what it is that you would like to see. Thanks so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you again.